I'm in grade 7. I'm attending Emily Carr Public School, and this is my first year doing the Base of Science Fair. My project is why aren't all medicines effective as pills? The purpose of my project is to model a medicine, which is insulin, and why it is injected and not in the form of pill. So some background information about why I chose insulin is because diabetic patients have to inject insulin and can't take it as a pill. If they were to take it as a pill, it would first go in their digestive system where it would encounter proteases. Proteases break down proteins and change their shape and size. This makes them not function properly. When they inject the insulin, it will stay the same because it is injected directly into the bloodstream. It will function properly because it is not changed. So my hypothesis for this experiment was that the insulin, and I modeled insulin by using jello shapes. So my hypothesis was the jello shapes in the blood. I used red food coloring and water to model blood. So the insulin in the blood would stay the same or close to the same near the end of this experiment, while the insulin in the proteases solution, and I used meat tenders and water to model the proteases solution. So the jello shapes in the proteases solution would be completely destroyed by the end of this experiment. Some materials I used were pre-made jello, a spoon, a cutting board, a cookie cutter, water, meat tenderizer, and red food coloring. So to do this experiment, I first cut 12 pieces of my jello, which is the model insulin, and I got 4 glasses. In all 4 glasses, I put a quarter cup of water. Then, in 2 glasses, I put 1 drop of food coloring, which modeled the blood. And in the other 2 glasses, I put 1/4 cup of meat tenderizer in each, which modeled the proteases solution. I put the model insulin into the glasses, putting 3 pieces in each glass. And every 15 minutes, I checked on them, and I repeated this 4 times. So every 15 minutes, I would take the jello shapes out and see if they would fit back into the cookie cutter. So I made sure I graphed my information, and after 15 minutes, the shapes in the blood stayed the same, but the shapes in the proteases solution changed significantly. After 30 minutes, the blood shapes still stayed the same, but the shapes in the proteases solution were pretty much halfway destroyed. After 45 minutes, the blood shapes also changed, but just a bit, and the shapes in the proteases solution were more than halfway destroyed and nearly completely destroyed. After 1 hour, the blood shapes were also different and changed a bit, but not too much, but the shapes in the proteases solution were completely destroyed by the end. So after I completed this experiment, I found out that injecting insulin is better than taking it as pill form. This is because, as I said earlier, the proteases will break down pills, as did the meat tenderizer, which modeled the proteases. So in conclusion, diabetic patients do have to inject insulin and can't take it as a pill, and this is because it will be broken down in pill form, while in the blood it'll stay the same and function properly. And the reason why diabetic patients even have to inject insulin is because they don't have enough insulin in their blood. So the insulin will make sure there's the right amount of glucose in their blood. So a challenge I faced was that the first time I did this experiment, I didn't check at the right intervals, and I checked every 30 minutes, not knowing how quickly the shapes in the proteases would break down and be destroyed. So the second time I did this, I made sure I checked on every 15 minutes, and it turned out well. And something I would improve on if I were to continue this would be to do it with a medicine that is supposed to be in pill form, such as ibuprofen, and I would see like why it can't be injected and why it is in pill form. And I would like to thank my parents for providing me with materials, and I would also like to thank my sister and parents for providing support. I would like to thank Ms. Monroe for providing support when I asked questions and giving me feedback about my project to make it better. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed this experiment as much as I did.